All right, guys. So yesterday we did um, adding unlike fractions, and today we are going to subtract unlike fractions. So it's a lot exactly almost like what we did the other day, but now it's just subtraction. Pages are going to be 651 to 656. Name, staple. Essential question. How can equivalent fractions help me add and subtract? So now we got our subtraction, and we need to get equivalent fractions. So maybe that's getting a fraction with the denominator the same on the bottom. Subtracting unlike fractions is very similar to adding unlike fractions, as you can see right here. So there's nothing really different today. We have a female Cuban tree frog can be up to 5/12 foot long. A male Cuban tree frog can be up to 1/4 foot long. How much longer is the female Cuban tree frog than the male? Female, and then this is the male. So how much longer is the female? So that kind of gives you a hint there which one is a larger fraction by the way they set it up here, saying wait, how much longer so is the female than the male. So we have 5/12 minus 1/4. Okay, and like we did yesterday, again remember our denominators have to be the same on the bottom for us to add and subtract. And this time it's not. So we have to find a common LCD, the least common denominator on the bottom, or the LCMs while we practice doing. So that's where you do. You skip count 4, 8, 12. Well, guess what? 12. So remember I said before, you can just say, well, does 4 go into 12? Yes, it does. So just use the 12 as your denominator. Okay. And then you would say, oops, don't want to do that. What do you multiply 4 by? Hang on, that's the bell. What do you multiply the 4 by to get 12? Well, you do 3, so you got to do this one by 3. So you're going to get 3/12. So that's how they got this 3/12 right here. The 5/12 stayed the same, so that's why how they got this right here. And then you just simply subtract 5 minus 3, which is 2, and then the 12 stays the same always. And then we have to simplify. Hopefully you see that these are both even. We can divide both of these by the same number, which is 2. And then that will give us 1/6. So the female is 1/6 foot longer than the male. Okay, so again, this is the exact same as the adding. So we're not really doing much different. We're still going to go through this just in case you missed something a little bit yesterday to help you understand what it is that we're doing here on this assignment. All right, so Jessie finished a half of her homework. Lakshani finished 4/5 of her homework. What fraction more of her homework did Lakshani finish than Jessie? So again, it gives you a hint here, like how much more of her homework did she finish. So it gives you a hint that Lakshani is the larger of the two. So that's how they got the 4/5 being first, because they kind of give you a little hint. Sorry, I can't breathe. All right, so we have 4/5 minus 1/2. We're not using the benchmarks. Okay, we're just diving into this. We're just figuring this out. So we're going to write equivalent fractions to find the LCD on the bottom. Remember I said before, I tell you, you can multiply the bottoms together. Like if you say 2 goes into 5, no, it doesn't. So you just say, well, 5 times 2 is 10. Okay, you can do that. So you say both of these I'm going to use is 10. We're going to subtract them. 5 times 2 equals 10. So I'm going to multiply this 4 by 2, which gives me 8. 2 times 5 equals 10. So I need to multiply this 1 by 5, which gives me 5. I subtract 8 minus 5 down here, which gives me 3. 10 stays the same. So 3/10 right here. Now, again, if I were to use the butterfly like we did yesterday, remember this is where, let me use a different color here. Maybe you're seeing too much of a color here. So if we use the wings, this is where you're going to put the answer at, remember? And then down here is where you're going to put that answer. 4 times 2 is 8. 5 times 1 is 5. 5 times 2 is 10. Well, it's 8 minus 5? 3. 10. So see, we get the same answer here, 3/10 and 3/10 as we did using the butterfly method. This is just a shortcut, guys. That's a shortcut to help you out. It's just a shortcut to help you guys work on these problems instead of having to go through this route. I mean, this is the standard way that I was taught right here. Finding the denominator, common denominator, and then doing the exchange. This way is kind of a shortcut, and it works for only adding, subtracting fractions that have unlike denominators. All right, so let's look down here at the bottom now. Subtract and write it in its simplest form. All right, well, I always look to say, well, the smallest number 4, will it fit in 8? Yes, it will. So that's why we're going to use the number 8. Okay. And that stays the same. Okay. 4. What do we multiply 4 by to get 8? That's 2. So we're going to multiply this by 2. So 2 times 1 is 2. What's 3 minus 2 is 1. The 8 stays the same. 1 8. Pretty easy, right? Again, you cannot just subtract it. I know some of you are going to want to be like, well, 5 minus 4 is 4. 6 minus... No, you cannot do that because these denominators have to be the same. Okay? So let's go ahead and do this. I always say the smaller number, will it fit inside the 6? Yes. So I'm not even going to try the butterfly with this because I know that that will fit into that. That stays the same. 2 times what equals 6? 3. So 1 times 3 is 3. And then you subtract that. You're going to get 5 minus 3 is 2. And then you keep those the same. Can you simplify that? I hope you see that both of those are even. And 2 will fit into that. So you're going to divide both of these again by 2, which will give you 1/3. 1/3 is your answer. Like so. This one here, will 4 fit inside of 5? It will not. So I'm going to try the butterfly on this one, just because I don't want to use too big of numbers, and I figured, why not, right? So I take and I do my wing right here. I do my wing here. I do my little antennas. What's 5 times 4? 20. Put it here. What's 4 times 2? 8. 5 times 1? 5. What is 8 minus 5? 3 over 20. 3 doesn't fit into 20 evenly because 3 is prime. So my final answer is 3/20. Pretty simple, right? We're going to do the same thing with this next one here because, again, 5 won't fit into 6 evenly. So we're going to do the butterfly with this as well. So we draw our antenna, or sorry, our wings. These are antennas. All right, so what is 6 times 4? 24. What's 5 times 1? 5. What's 5 times 6? 30. Equals, we're going to 24 minus 5, because this is minus, we're going to get 19 over 30. Can you simplify? No, because 19 is prime, and it doesn't fit into 30 evenly. So our answer is 19/30. Boom. Okay? Simple as that. All right, for this next one, I'll look at it, say, well, the smallest is 2. It does fit into 8, so we're going to use the 8 for this one. Just makes it easy. This stays the same. All right, so 2 times what equals 8? That's 4. So 1 times 4 is 4. Subtract that. We're going to get 3, because remember we subtract these, and then you leave that the same. So 3/8. 3 is prime. It doesn't fit inside of 8. This one here, does 3 fit inside of 12? It sure does. So we're going to use the 12. So that stays the same. All right. How many times do you multiply 3 by to get 12? 3 times 4. So you have 1 times 4, which is 4. All right. And then you subtract, and then you get 7 minus 4 equals 3. Because remember, you subtract these right here, and then you get 12. So you have to divide both of these by the same number, because I know 3 fits into 12. So we're going to divide both of those by 3, which is going to give us 1/4. 1/4. Next up, does 3 fit inside of 6? It sure does. So we're going to use 6. 3 times 2 equals 6. So we need to multiply this 1 by 2, which gives us 3 over 6. Does 3 fit into 6? Yes, it does. So we're going to divide both of these by 3, which is going to give us 1/2. So our answer is 1/2. It's the simplifying is what you guys will probably forget about. And, it just takes a while to get used to that. All right, this one, does 3 fit inside of 10? It does not. So this one I'm going to do the butterfly method with. Okay, so I'm going to draw my little wings like so. My antennas go up here, and then my bottom goes down there. 10 times 2 is 20. 3 times 3 is 9. We're going to subtract those. Then what's 3 times 10? 30. So what's 20 minus 9? We get 11 over 30. 11's prime. It doesn't fit into 30. So guess what? 11/30ths. We're done. Pretty simple. Okay, small number 2. Does it fit in 8? Yes, it does. So we're going to say we're going to use the 8 for both. What times 2 equals 8? It's 4. So 4 times 1 is 4. 5 minus 4, because remember we subtract, is 1. These stay the same. 1/8 is our answer. Does 5 fit into 15? It sure does. So 15 goes here. 15 goes here. We're still going to subtract. That stays the same because it's 2 15s. 5 times what equals 15? That's 3. So 4 times 3 is 12. Subtract these right here. You're going to get 10 over 15. And then I see that, hey, I can divide both of these by 5 because they both have a 0 or a 5 at the end of it, which gives us 2/3. 2/3 as our answer. Pretty simple. If the number fits, just use that number. If it doesn't, use the butterfly. All right, does 4 fit inside of 6? It does not, so let's use the butterfly down here. So we're going to draw wings. Again, we just do like a cross multiply. Antenna right here. 5 times 4 is 20. 6 times 3 is 18. We're going to subtract those. 6 times 4 is 24. 20 minus 18 is 2. 24ths. They're both even, so I can divide them both by 2 again, which gives me 1/12. 1/12 is my answer. All right. Now we're going to figure out, obviously we're using 15 here, right? So we need to figure out what this top number is. So we have 2/3. I'm sorry, we're using 15, so we got to have 15 for both of these. All right, and 3 times 5 equals 15, so 5 times 2 is 10. And then 5 times 3 equals 15, so 3 times 3 is 9. So it looks to me if you do 10 minus 9, you're going to get 1, because you'll get a 1 right here, right? 1 over 15. That's what we got there. And the last one, will 6 fit into 12? Yes, it will, so we're going to use 12. That stays the same. 6 times what equals 12? It's 2, so we need to multiply this 1 by 2, which is 2 times 1. And then we get 3 over 12, because 5 minus 2 is 3. And we can divide both of these by 3, which gives us 1/4. 1/4. All right, let's look at not the homework, the backside here. Angie rides her bike 2/3 of a mile to school. On Friday, she took a shortcut so that the ride was 1/9 a mile shorter. How long was Angie's bicycle ride on Friday? So you're taking 2/3 one day. Well, this day she takes away 1/9 of it. So I see this and I say, well, 3 fits into 9, so let's use 9, right? This stays the same. 3 times what equals 9? 3. So we need to multiply this by 3, which gives us 6. Then you subtract those right there. It gives you 5/9. Ollie used a half cup of vegetable oil to make brownies. She used another 1/3 cup of oil to make muffins. How much more oil did she use to make brownies? Okay, so obviously the oil, it says how much more did she use. So that's our bigger of our fraction, 1/2 minus 1/3. Okay, I'm going to use the butterfly on this. Okay, that's just how I am. They're small numbers. It's just easier this way. All right, so I have 2 times 3 is 6. So that's going to be there, right? 3 times 1 is 3. 2 times 1 is 2. Subtract those, you get 1. 1/6. Danielle poured 3/4 a gallon of water from a 7/8 gallon bucket. How much water is left in the bucket? So the bucket is 7/8, which is going to be the larger, right? And we're taking away 3/4. Well, does 4 fit in 8? Yeah. So let's use 8 as our bottom number. That stays the same. 4 times what equals the 8? 2. So 3 times 2 is 6. So you subtract these right here, you're going to get 1, and you get 8, 1/8. So, as I said, this is a lot like yesterday's and the day before that. Just like yesterday's because it's just adding and using the butterfly method just as easy. Using the other way that I showed you on here, it's just as easy as well. All right, so I didn't give you guys a secret letter yesterday, and I need to give you two today. I got a little forgetful, right? So today's two secret letters. One of them is D for dog. Okay, D for dog. And then the other secret letter is um, R. R for rabbit. Okay, so D and R today are your secret letters. So thank you guys. If you've got any questions, again, feel free to ask me. I'll give you a hint. I'll put a B right here. I'd probably use butterfly for that. Don't have to, but you can. This one right here, I would just do it the standard way, like find does 4 fit in 8, that kind of thing. Same thing with that one, standard way. Backside, this is going to be your bigger, so you're going to subtract that one away from it. Again, this one I would use the standard way. I would not use the butterfly for that one. This one here, you could use, definitely I would use the butterfly for that. I'd use the standard method for this. And most likely I'd use the butterfly for that. So, all right. So it just gives you guys a little hint there. So again, if you have any questions, come back here to see me. Bring your paper and have something written on your paper so I can see where you need help at, because that's the big thing, right? Again, feel free to ask me. That's why I'm here, is to answer your questions. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure you click subscribe.